What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at this pipe segment with two flanges on it, and we're going to try and figure out the best way, most efficient way to get this drawing done with the dimensions that are provided. So with this drawing, typically I always like to start with the left view. It doesn't always work like that, and this is one of those cases. We can start on this left side view, but all we'll really be able to draw is this bottom flange here, and then we'll be stuck. So in this case, we're going to be able to draw this view completely, and then we'll use the information that we've drawn on this view to do this view over here. So let's get started over here. The first thing we're going to want to draw is going to be this bottom flange, and we know the dimensions of this flange from this view over here. We know that it's going to be, has a diameter of 19, so it's going to be 19 inches by 1.3 inches. So let's go ahead and get that drawn. So we're going to go over 19 inches, and then we'll go up 1.3. Then we will complete the rectangle. So for this next portion, we need to get these curves drawn in. So if you'll notice, they all share the same center point right here, and the dimensions for that center point are provided. So we need to get that center mark there, because without that, we're not going to be able to do this drawing. So I'm going to draw a little reference line over. That's the 13.34 here. Then I'm just going to bring it up to the bottom here, where the next dimension starts of 3.4. And then from here, we know that at that point, we have this line right here. That's at 45-degree angles. We're going to need that as a reference. So I want to go ahead and do a line at 45 degrees. I'm going to just draw it there. I'm going to go ahead and just change the color of this so it's not as confusing. Then we can get rid of all of these lines. So we know right here at the bottom of this line, this endpoint is the center point for everything else. So let's go ahead and draw this one and this one. So we're going to do a circle with the radius of this first one of 7.25. Then we'll draw another circle with the radius of 19.25. And then you notice here, when it reaches this line here, this curve stops and it becomes a straight line. So we know that we can get rid of these circles there. We also can see down here, these curves stop and we have straight lines, vertical lines there. And that lines up with this center point, this axis of rotation. So we can draw a line straight across. And we can get rid of those lines there. And then if you want, we can go ahead and draw these lines that go straight down. So for this next portion, we're going to use the offset command because we know this line is parallel to this flange. Because this flange is at 45 degrees. So what I'm going to do first is offset this line, and then I'll do another offset for this line. So we'll activate the offset command using O, and then we're going to have a 3.4 inch offset. So we'll select this line and then click. There's that one. And we're going to do another offset of 1.3 with this line to there. Then we'll go ahead and change these to the correct layer type. Yeah, so that's the angle and the thickness of the flange. We don't yet have the outer bounds done yet, but we'll work on that now. I'm going to go ahead and draw in this center line. And we know it has a radius right here. This is the radius for that one. It's going to be 13.34. We'll do another circle from here at 13.34. We'll trim that up. And we can delete. We'll go ahead and just draw this down, make it look good. And we'll draw this one out perpendicular to there. Okay. So again, this flange is identical to this flange here. And we know that it is 19 inches in diameter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go off of this center line here. And with it having a 19-inch diameter, we know it has a radius of 9.5. So I'm just going to draw some little cheater lines that go perpendicular at 9.5. And then bring it down. Let me change these real quick. I'm sorry. Then we'll do another one with the radius of 9.5. We'll bring it down. And then once we trim this, we have our flange. And let's go ahead and do a couple just quick dimension checks just to make sure we got this right. So I'll use the dim align command. Okay, so there we have the 1.3 thickness of the flange, which is correct. Then we go to here and we have the 3.4. So we know that this flange is good. And we'll go ahead and check the diameter of it too, just to be safe. Yep, 19. So we know that's good. Okay, so now we need to draw these hidden lines in. So for this, we're going to use the same thing. We're going to use the offset command. So in order to get this thickness, we know that the OD of this pipe right here is 12 inches. And we know the ID is 10 inches. So that means it has a radial thickness of 1 inch per side. So what we'll do is a 1 inch offset. So we'll activate the offset command and we'll do 1 inch. And we'll do that for each of those. And we can do this for all the lines that make that up. Let's go ahead and change the line type properties for these, or the layer properties, sorry, to hidden. And we'll go ahead and select the hidden layer. And then we'll just manually draw in these lines here where they extend down. And then that's that view completed. So we'll move it over here out of the way. So for the next view, it's going to be best to start with this flange again on the bottom. So what we'll do is we'll just go off of this one here. We know it's 19 by 1.3. And then, let's see, the next thing we need to do, we can probably get this flange drawn first. What we need to do is identify the center point right here. So we know that the center line of this flange is going to be here. And the center line of this flange is going to be right there. So that's our center mark right there. Excuse me. So to do this flange, since it's at almost like an isometric view, you can't use the circle command. You're going to have to use the ellipse command, but all the lines are here that you need. So let me show you how we're going to do this. So first things first, I'm going to go ahead and delete this. I'm going to redraw this line. If we come across, we're going to go 5 inches on this side, 5 inches on that side. So that's a total of 10 inches, which is what the ID or the diameter of this is right here. So let's start with this opening. So we have the left and right points already right here, but what we need is the top and bottom points. But we can get those straight from this view. So here's the top of the ID. There's the bottom of the ID. You see these yellow lines here. So what we do is we activate the ellipse command, and we know it's going to be from the top to bottom, and then left to right. And that's the opening for that. So next we can do this one here, okay? So same thing, we know this has an OD of 19. So we know the left and right bounds of this line are going to be right here. Go ahead and draw this back. I didn't mean to delete those. Okay, but we know the OD is right there. It's right there. So what you can see now is you basically have the same type of pattern here that we did for the inner circle. We know it's from top to bottom here, and left to right there. And we can delete all these lines again. We don't need them. Now for this bottom one, it's going to be pretty much the same way, except we're going to, instead of grabbing from here like we did for that one, we're going to grab the bottom one, and we'll grab this one there. Same thing again with the ellipse command. We're going to go from the top to the bottom, then left to right. But you can see there's some things that are still kind of wrong with it. So this line up here, you can see how this top portion of it needs to be hidden. So what we're going to do is we're going to break this line. So we're going to use the break command. We'll select, and then you can just pick any point, just like that, okay? Then we will trim this. Then I'm going to extend. There to there. What we did is we basically split that ellipse into a small segment, and then we isolated it and we got it by itself, and then we extended it back to the points where it connects. Then we can just highlight this one, select hidden, and that portion's done. Okay, let's see what we have to do next. So it looks like the next part is we just need to draw the OD and the ID of this vertical pipe section. So again, we know it's 12 inches wide. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come off at the center line, and we know it's 12 inches wide, so it's going to be 6 inches on each side. Then I'll just draw the lines up, and then I'll use the trim command to clean it up. Okay, and then if you'll notice, this line stops here. Okay, but these ID lines, they're going to go straight through. So what we can do is we can get the hidden layer, and we'll just snap onto this edge right here, go straight down. Same thing for both sides. And that's all the hidden lines. So next thing we're going to do is try and get these center lines taken care of, and we can use the CM command for center mark. Oh wait, that's right, center mark doesn't work on ellipses. So what I do on this one is I will basically fake in a circle like this. Then I use a center mark on that circle, and then delete it. Then we can drag it down, clean it up, make it look good. And so that right there is pretty much the drawing done. Looks like the line type scale is just a little off on that, but we can adjust that up, change it up a little bit. But yeah, that's the pipe segment drawn. So I hope this video helped you guys, and if y'all wouldn't mind, smash that like button, hit subscribe. It really helps the channel push these videos out to other people who are looking for the same type of information. So thanks.